So last night we were way too tired to make our video, so we're making it this morning, right outside of the Arctic Henge, which is really cool.
I'm basically here only to be her memory. That's basically what I got out of that.
Let's not talk about it. So yesterday we started and had a late, was that yesterday we had a late morning? We had an early morning. No, we had an early morning. But where did we stay?
At a campsite that had everything inside. Remember, it was the one in Edgington.
Something. Egg something. Oh yeah, okay, so, we had an earlier start because we started later the previous day, and we got to our campsite very late, so, I wanted to make sure we got on the road somewhat early, but we did stay at Egglistow, I believe it's called, yeah, and it was really nice because it was a 24-hour, I think I said that in the last video, but it was 24 hours, so that made it really nice, but in the morning they were closed, no one was there before we left, but I didn't have to worry about it because we had already paid. So I think you showered in the evening and in the morning, right?
Of course I did.
And made our oatmeal. I feel like that was the morning that we got like everything really good.
Yeah, we had a good groove yesterday.
Yeah.
And today I felt like we had a good groove too.
Yeah. We're getting it down.
Finally. Now that the trip's almost over with.
But after leaving the campsite, we went first to the canyon. I can't remember what the first part of that canyon, how to say it, but it's like the very like picturesque Instagram canyon. We could only see it from the top at first, and it was like this stairwell down to a viewing point, and then I saw people in the canyon when we were up there, and I was like, that's what I want. I want to get down there. How do we do that? And we had to figure it out because the east side, where you're supposed to park to do that, was closed because the road was too like icy, I guess. And so I was like, how the heck did they go there? But apparently they took a very, very long hike. And so I started heading towards there to repark because I saw that there was a parking lot before the road. And so I was like, I wonder if we can make it walking.
We saw the bridge that is from America.
Oh yeah.
So that was pretty cool. There's like a giant sign that says given from New York City, from the USA kind of thing. So that was really cool to see. A little piece of US and Iceland.
And while we were standing on that bridge, and Kelly was taking her photos of the sign that it has on there, I saw this man run across the other bridge that's above it for cars. We were on like a walking one, I guess. And I shouted to him to see how long the walk was because it seemed like he had just come from the path. And he said, I'm just coming to get my car. I was like, oh, you have a 4x4? Because the road looked like it needed a 4x4 car. And he said, yes. And I was like, oh, cool. And so I was like, I don't think we can go because our van is 2x4. And he said, well, come, I'll take you. I was like, okay, sure. Because I really wanted to go down to the canyon. And we got in his car. It was not a 4x4. It was a very tiny mini car. And it hit a lot of rocks on the first ride. What was his name?
Andrea.
Yeah, Andrea. He was very gentlemanlike. He helped us on all the rocks. We were able to get down to the canyon. The walk to the canyon was how long?
Probably about a 2-mile walk.
Both ways? Okay. Yeah, it was a pretty long walk, and the way back was pretty bad because the wind was like at our face. I feel like pretty much the whole way there it was kind of at our back.
Yeah, it was nice walking down. Coming back felt like 8 miles. Like you just one foot from the other, head down, billowing it.
Yeah, it did help some to walk backwards, but then you had to worry about tripping on a rock or, falling off the edge of the cliff,
And then by this point we had more visitors coming, or like tourists coming down to see it too, so then that was a little bit more chaotic. It was raining and snowing.
They were impressive. That guy had like raindrops in his beard, the one that asked us like how long it was. Mm-hmm. And he just took it in stride, no problem. And we were like,
yeah, take us back to the beach.
We got back to the car. Thankfully, we did not get stuck on the road that I was a little bit nervous of getting stuck on, but I was like, it's his rental car, not mine, so sure.
And then he had some lovely green tea for us.
Oh, yeah, that was so sweet.
That we didn't drink.
He offered it to us, but he was like, oh, it's more cold than hot. But at first he was like, I have hot tea. Do you want some? I thought that was so sweet of him to even offer.
But luckily we were able to decline it politely and be like, oh, well, it's not hot, so I don't have any.
We had a good convo with him, but also during the conversation we asked why his hand was wrapped, and he said that somebody made him mad. So that was interesting. He also talked about drugs and why he stopped doing them, and that was interesting. Yeah. Very interesting fellow. But I'm glad, like, when we parted ways, he didn't, like, ask for my number or anything like that. I thought that was really nice. I was a little bit nervous, like, trying to think through scenarios of how to say no to that. We survived. The next thing on our list was like a 2-mile drive away. It was Didyfoss.
Then we had lunch.
Oh yeah, you're right. I'm so glad you're here.
I'm basically here only to be her memory. That's basically what I got out of that.
No, where we pulled off on this like picnic area that's in the middle of like these mountains full of snow. And it was really cool though, because you got to see like the wind pick up little snow flurries and like carry them across the road that you basically couldn't see anymore. I want you to send me that clip and I can put it in here.
That was part of the 10 photos that weren't going to send last night.
Okay, cool. My camera or my iCloud stuff has been quite an issue on this trip.
But we've after that hike, we both felt very hungry once we got back from seeing the canyon, and we've done great with not eating lunch. But we figured yesterday we needed to. The night before we had talked about making sandwiches in the morning, but as we drove to the canyon that morning, we realized we dropped the ball on that.
We were like, oh, it was such a smooth morning, but we forgot the sandwiches.
But it's okay. We pulled off the side of the road to the camping spot, our picnic area. Rachel climbed in the back. We didn't even get out of the car. We did roll down the windows and lose a bunch of paper. Sorry, Mother Nature. We made PB&J sandwiches. We both ate it, and then we got back on the road. Then we drove to the falls.
Oh, yeah.
Sulfoss.
Didyfoss or Selfoss. I'll put it in there. Whatever. Those were really, really pretty, and I'm glad we did that. It basically made up for our glacier hike we missed, Kelly said.
Yeah, it was. We were walking on ice, and it also reminded me of a giant Oreo. Like an Oreo crumble.
I'm so glad for the duck boots that I got at Goodwill before this trip, because I almost didn't even bring them, but I've been literally wearing them every single day, and they've been exactly what I needed.
Yes.
So, perfect. And Kelly has a pair too. She didn't get hers at Goodwill.
Yeah, I'm bougie like that. But yeah, we were walking on ice, and so it was nice, and then stepping in water where it's melted throughout the day, so it was nice being able to have something water protectant but also warm. Mm-hmm. But that was also the most powerful waterfall in Iceland.
Yeah.
So that was really unique to see.
Pretty much after that, I think we just went to... Did we stop anywhere else?
We went to the N1.
Oh, yeah. In the middle of nowhere. That was, I think the most sketchiest and one we've been in. Or just like, I don't know.
We just have been so touched in touristy areas, but as you head up north, it becomes more desolate. So I think we really got a big whiff of that yesterday.
And like, it's just more
small town.
Yeah, small town. That's what I'm looking for. And like, if you picture like going into the deep, deep South country in America and going to like a gas station where like everybody knows Mom, Pop, Joe kind of thing, that's what that was, basically. But yeah, we filled up gas because we didn't know where we were going to see another one, and it seems like they're getting more and more sparse as we go up, but also we used the bathroom there, which was nice. I did not want to have to pee outside in the middle of snowstorm.
But the bathrooms at Daddy Foss were really nice. They were basically a giant hole in Mother Nature that...
Yeah, but it was really cool how they did that, because it didn't even feel like super freezing.
Yeah. It was like a giant porta potty, but nice. And you weren't going to blow away.
Can you imagine, though, if it was just a hole in the ground in a closet, how cold it would be? Oh my gosh. The temperatures have been blowing my mind, because the temperatures have been like 35 degrees, 39 degrees, and but then the wind makes it like 10 to 12 degrees, 15 degrees colder, because the wind is ridiculous. Mm-hmm. Water has been super important.
Yes. Then we kind of debated on going to the Arctic Henge last night or today. But with us going to the Thistle, we needed to get there early. It was much more than we anticipated, but in a good way. Nothing bad.
Like no one was there in the whole entire building.
But he taught us some Icelandic cultures, like leaving your shoes at the door. There's like this whole little area you can leave your shoes at and hang your coats.
Kind of like a mud room.
Yeah, and a shoe horn to make it easier to put your boots back on. And then we got to talk to him for a little bit, even though it was like 7:30. Mm-hmm. We just like talked to him about what to do up here, up north, and
I feel weird that you're like half
and different unique things that go on up here, the town meetings.
Yeah, apparently he told us that a new like rule or law is that every Icelandic town has to have at least 1,000 residents. And so right now his town has 400? Mm-hmm. 400 people, so he's trying to figure out who to merge with.
Because he's well off. That's what baffles Rachel and I, that they are...
He said, he like laughed and said that they were really well off with funds.
So that just is kind of interesting how we're in the middle of nowhere and he's doing great.
Yeah.
Questionable. What is he doing that we don't know about?
Or is just this hotel that he runs really popular? I don't know, because no one else was staying there when we were.
And we had heated floors.
Oh, that was so nice.
We each got our own individual bathrooms, our own individual beds, all the outlets you could think about.
That was really
fridge,
nice.
we were able to cook on a stove. It was nice to not really have to worry about the cleanup, pickup mess.
We found out that most of our fridge, like, perishables have perished.
How's that coffee?
I literally thought I was going to throw up this morning. Multiple times. I was, no joke, I'm not being dramatic. I literally almost threw up. It was bad.
That throw up aftertaste.
Let's not talk about it.
Yeah. So we got an early start today. We said we were going to leave by 9, knowing that we probably weren't going to roll out at 9. We left about 9:30. We had oatmeal, made our sandwiches early. Then head up here to the Arctic Henge, and it's very cold.
It is very cold, but it's also really cool.
Yeah, and nobody else is here, so it's really nice to be able to see this significant statue with nobody else around.
I'm really hoping that the roads will open up today so that we can go up more north, because if we can, then we get to see the actual like entrance to the Arctic Circle. So that's what I'm hoping for. We're waiting till like maybe if it's like a little bit cooler or like warmer in the, not cooler, it's already cool enough, warmer in the like midday, like maybe the sun will show up maybe, and it will help the roads so that we can go up there, because they were green as of like yesterday morning, but now they're gray, which means like we can't drive on them.
And the forecast shows snow all day.
Unfortunately, I found out that when a road turns gray in the app we are using, it means that it is closed for the season. So it literally had closed for the season the day before we were able to get there. Big bummer. So, yeah, there's that.
Yay.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right. Bye. It's literally so tiny. There's only like one pallet.